Good afternoon and good evening wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the Trans Nation Esports Monday Night Regionals here, coming at you from Great Britain this evening. I am Stu, of course, and joined with me in the combox is, of course, Sebi. Seb, how is it going tonight, sir?
I'm excited. I'm excited for some racing. I'm full of alcohol, and I'm ready to get rowdy.
You're all liquored up, eh?
Yes, sir.
What's the drink of choice this evening?
I only have White Claws in the fridge.
No, there ain't no law when you're on the claw.
Exactly.
I am drinking the infamous maple whiskey again. I'm almost
Oh, of
almost
course.
done it. Almost done it. So, been powering through. But yeah, it looks like Mr. Brett Keenan is already in the chat. He is eagerly awaiting us, as is normal. But it looks like he's going to be enjoying tea and a scone, so a little bit different from our liquor diet that we are on. But regardless, we find ourselves here in I guess it's not your queen, is it, Seb? But for us Canadians, our queen is of course British. And we find ourselves in Silverstone for what is definitely one of the highlights of the calendar, one of the fan faves. And yeah, I mean it should be a good race that we're in for here this evening. Silverstone, a very fast track, high powered, can be tricky, high chance of wet. So Seb, I know unfortunately you didn't get to race here yesterday evening, but what are your thoughts on this British Grand Prix circuit?
Well, I mean, it definitely can be a tricky track. You got a lot of heartbreaking situations. You got a lot of straights. You got a lot of quick, tight turns. You got to make sure your setup is set for the straights, so that way you're not losing a lot of time, but you gotta make sure that you got that downforce to make the time through the turn. So I mean, I feel like one way or another you're gonna lose time somewhere unless you're just a perfect god at making the perfect setup and you lose time nowhere.
Yeah, it certainly is a unique track. Like you're really setting up. You can't lose pace down the straightaways. If you aren't fast down the straights, then rip. I mean, you're not going to have a chance. But by the same note, if you don't have a good car that can accelerate out of village and into left field, I mean, you're not going to have a good chance either. So it's a very tricky track to get set up for, and one that should bring us a lot of good racing. Of course, are there? I believe maybe there's three DRS straights on this track, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so hopefully should lead to some good passing opportunities here this evening. But I know just based on our race last night on Sunday Night Regionals, it was from what I heard one of the best races that they've seen of the season. So hopefully we get some good racing here again tonight.
Well, how did your race go, Stu? Why don't you walk us through your race last night?
Yeah, it was. I know that you were trying to do that to get a reaction out of me, Seb. I mean, it was unfortunate. I knew that the rain was coming, so I actually set up my car. Who did we just lose in the lobby? So I actually adjusted my rear wing so that I was going to be set up better for the wet, but the wet rolled around way later than I expected it to, and it cost me so much time in the early part of the race, and then you know the transition from the dry to the wet caught me out, and I looped it around, stuck it in the fence. So that's the way she goes.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Yep, but so the way she goes. It's unfortunate, but it wasn't like I was up there contending with Honda for the race win or anything. So not yeah, onwards and
Well, it
upwards.
seemed like you were out there contending with the wall.
Yeah, and the wall won, as the wall usually does, Seb. I mean, at least I showed up, right?
Hey,
Don't try and
hey,
start shit.
hey. Easy, buddy. Easy.
Actually, do you want to send an invite to, if you check in general, one of the drivers actually got kicked. So if you just wanna,
I'm
if you're
already
able,
on it.
you're amazing, Seb. You're amazing.
God,
And
there we go. Now I can pause and get him.
Brett, no, you cannot start anything. Uh, Definitely not in the mood. Not in the
Oh,
mood. Maybe
he
by the.
doesn't. They don't have
Maybe,
me as a friend. Sorry, Stu.
okay, so I'll step away quickly here. This should only. Oh, he has joined. Oh,
Okay.
a bunch of great guys in this U.S. regional. Just seeing a man in jeopardy and just sending out a friendly invite. That's what we really want here. As no weather report coming in yet. That's really what I want though.
But it's so funny, how Sean can say, at least I showed up and then laugh about it, but at least my Wi-Fi is always on point. I've never disconnected.
Oh boy, is this just gonna turn into insults being hurled back and forth here? Um,
It might be.
Interesting that Bucks appears to have come out on the mediums, but he's showing on the soft. As fortunately, one of the reserve drivers continues to have some problems, and it's going to be a dry session all around here at Silverstone. So that's going to be very welcome news from the drivers. Would have been welcome for me last night, so I didn't screw up my setup. But that's the way she goes. That's the way she goes. Sunday night. So Christopher is having some problems here. Looks like getting into the lobby and staying into the lobby. Yeah, Brett, definitely add it to the list to pass on to Codemasters. And that is actually, Brett brings up a very good point. There was a very recent F1 2020 update. Apparently it hasn't fixed Bucks' tires, but what it did fix is a qualifying glitch that, Seb, you may have either intentionally or unintentionally taken advantage of earlier this season,
What?
where a driver can set a flying lap after the time goes down to 0. So that is no longer something that's able to be taken advantage of. And yeah.
Well, see, the way I see it, it's the same thing as racing. If there's a gap and you don't go for it, like, are you really racing? Like, if I didn't take the opportunity that was handed in front of me, and somebody's off the track.
Somebody's off track right now. That's a
Charges was yes.
that's an
Alpha
Alpha
Tauri.
Tauri. Yeah. I really don't like all of the YouTube comments that we're getting. Don't forget, folks, I could turn off the YouTube comments. I know Brett can turn them right back on, but
He won't do it, folks. He won't do it.
I
I told you I was gonna be rowdy.
Mike and I commentate together on Saturdays too, or Sundays for if you're in Oceania. So Mike is he's in for a testy comm booth here on the weekend, I suppose. As Bucks is currently on a flying lap. I also fixed the tire appearance issue. It turns out it was the user and not the game that was the problem. I had it
What it
set
tends to
to
be.
best and not fastest or not fitted. So that is what the problem was there. But Bucks comes around, sets a 125.7 as an opening lap on the mediums. Not too shabby on the medium compound tires. Looks like we have a Renault that's slow. That is David Aponte, I believe. Actually, it was David Aponte, I think, maybe. As Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker, sets a 125 point something.
Michael.
Yeah, Michael Garone Jr. goes fast with a 125.0. But you know what? Buck's still on those medium compound tires, only 7/10 off that initial time, so it's not too bad. I mean, I think that's just kind of as an installation lap, but now Seb.
What do you?
Oh,
Go ahead.
Oh, we're just so polite.
You first.
Okay.
You first.
I was gonna ask you. Now I know that you didn't race here. I don't know how much prep that you did for this race, but do you know what your ideal tire strategy would have been around here, or is that something that you even looked into?
I think ideal tire strategy would have definitely been to start on the mediums and then maybe go softs at the end. But of course, just like yesterday, the rain can definitely just throw a wrench into that, and anything could really upset the strategy that you could have set. But for dry, I would probably go medium soft.
Yeah, that's. I mean, as an alternate strategy, it wouldn't necessarily be bad. If Bucks can start up close enough to the front, I don't think that's bad, especially if there's going to be no weather that comes into play here. But yeah, the softs and the mediums are definitely the two tires you want to be running on here. Don't really want to toy with the hards. So I was doing some research into what potential strategies might be in play, and I saw some two-stop strategies around here, which after racing in it last night, I definitely don't think that's the way that you want to go, especially with how slow the pit lane is around here. But yeah, I think we're going to see softs to mediums, mediums to softs in the race. As it does appear that Christopher is continuing to unfortunately have some Wi-Fi troubles here.
Dunk actually said a 125 too.
So J-Dunk,
Splitting the McLarens.
yeah, currently a second off of Michael Garone Jr.'s time, but also doing it on the mediums.
What?
Oh, I'm looking at the Iceman. My bad. Different
I'm
Red,
like, what?
wrong Red Bull. They both have CRL at the start of their name, and it really confuses me. I'm not the smartest guy, Seb. You
I
gotta
think
cut
you
me,
should
Seb.
drink water the rest of the
Yeah,
night.
I just started a new drink, Seb. So bottoms up, buddy. Um,
Yes, sir.
let's take a peek at the YouTube comments here. Yes, Brett Keenan did get a pole in Austria. Congratulations to you, sir. Yeah, apparently you don't
I've
want
been
to talk about
seeing that a lot
that Brett's been getting poles.
in Austria. That exact same line. I think it's been copy and pasted a couple times.
Yeah.
Yesterday, today.
You know what? It's just gonna get to the point where your phone's gonna report it as spam at some point. So you're gonna see like Brett Keenan posted a message and it's just it's not gonna be there. Um, but yeah, regardless, congratulations to you on that, Brett. Maybe next time you can translate that into a good race performance. I mean,
Ooh,
you can take that as an insult if you want, but I mean, I crashed out of the race here last night, so I mean, I'm not really in a position to be hurling insults like that. Um,
true.
although Brett was pointing that out earlier in the broadcast, so maybe he had it coming. Uh, but let's check out what's going on track here. So actually, right now, kind of surprising. Mr. Alex Gutierrez in the Racing Point. Of course, he has shown some very impressive pace. Maybe the last month and a half as he gets up to speed on that wheel. Currently the slowest driver who's set a time of 127.7, so I wonder if he just had a little bit of an incident out there on track that caused a poor lap time. I'm sure that we'll see him move up the standings as we go along. But meanwhile, Ethan Lossing, a 124.9. He's the first of the 24s here in this session. So, of course, we do have, well, we would have had a full grid if Christopher can figure out his unfortunate internet issues that he seems to be experiencing. But regardless, 19 drivers. There are 3 reserves that are on deck here for this race. So nice full grid here at Silverstone. Very good to see.
Ooh, and don't look now, but Honda just set a fastest Sector 1.
Yes, Honda is what my nightmares are made of these days. He's just in another stratosphere on Sunday. And although Cam last night was showing some very, very good pace, Honda is definitely one of the speedy fellas. Also one of the Tier 1 no assist drivers that we have here in the US region. As he will follow along with him as he makes his way around this track.
Did he set a fast Sector 2? I didn't see.
I didn't notice either. I was I was just observing Wesley's 158.3. I believe that there might have been a Spinala involved there. As ooh, Honda gets a little bit twitchy going through club corner or coming
It's
out of
almost at the
the
124.7.
yeah. So even with that little twitch, he does go 2/10 faster than Ethan. Michael Garone Jr. is out on track right now. He has made his way through Sector 1, almost an identical Sector 1. A little bit skittish there outside of... what corner is that? That's left field. As he makes his way into the very twisty Beckett's section. Definitely a unique part of this British Grand Prix circuit. You know what, Seb? I found it was a little bit more difficult in previous games, Maggots and Beckett's was, but I think with this new F1 game, and the downforce, the way the cars are, I think it's a lot easier to drive.
Oh, and he abandoned the lap. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely also too. I mean, the downforce definitely is noticeable more in this game. So I mean, if you notice the downforce a lot more, you'll definitely notice it through turns like that.
Yeah, it's we will. Let's see who else we got out on track here. We have another one of the reserves, Mr. Not Apollo. That is oh God. I'm not used to saying it was Sean. I'm not used to saying these Monday night guys' names, so I don't like
Sunday night.
I always Sunday night. Oh boy.
Can I always reserve commentator in here, please?
Hey,
God.
you shut up, sir. Don't need to. I don't need that. But yeah, so we have Sean. We're following along with Mr. Sean Yarborough right now, king of the bad internet, which Christopher is trying to dethrone him of. But as Christopher does rejoin, we'll see if he's able to. Hopefully, he's able to stick around.
Sounds a little sus since Sean's been able to stay in the lobby.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's this lobby host again. We all know who the lobby host is here on Monday night. As Sean is going to come around the final corner, and he goes half a second faster, a 126.0. He knows he's on stream. He does a little bit of a wiggle as he goes across the line. All right, Mr. Sean.
Showing us that he's listening. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I don't know how some of you guys listen to the stream at the same time as racing.
Well, that's definitely not the easiest thing to do in the world. It's when they're talking about you on stream, your butt clenches a little bit extra. And
I mean, I tried it once, and I was like, nope.
You see, it's definitely not worth it. I will say that. For the amount of little bits of information that you might get about what's going on in the race around you, it's really not worth the poop your pants moments when they're talking about you and you're so scared to not bin it. So I don't know. I still do it, but I mean, I guess I'm a little bit crazy. Following along right now with Joseph Bucks, he is almost 7/10 of a second up on his previous best time, so he is making a solid bid here to take a charge here at Honda's time. He comes into the final set of corners here through Club, and he's going to head down the front straightaway. What's he going to be able to do? Down the front straightaway, he goes second fastest, 1/100th of a second off of Honda's time. So definitely a competitive lap time there for Mr. Joseph. Ethan Lossing also on a flying lap. Did not catch if he is up on his time. He's coming out of the final corner, though, and he does go slightly faster. Not enough to improve, though. Other than that, Alex Gutierrez, we have him on a flying lap. He invalidated his previous attempt, so I think he's given her another go here on the mediums. So going to try and sneak into the top 10 maybe and have that bit of an alternate strategy. Oh, I see we have Ted Kravitz that has rejoined the team.
Yeah, he broke through security according to Brett.
Yeah. Who is our security, anyways? Because we really need somebody new. It's getting pretty
Yeah,
ridiculous.
they're fired too. I'm
Yeah.
really surprised Zach Dugout hasn't set a time yet.
True. Well, he has set a time, but he did invalidate. I can see that he has 1 lap old softs on. So he did invalidate a previous attempt. But that being said, I would fully anticipate that he is going to jump up with these top guys here before too long. Speaking of jumping up with the top fellas here, we have Alex Gutierrez currently 1.7 seconds up on his previous best time. So that's going to put him in and around P10 right now. He's got to improve a little bit more through Sector 3 here on those medium tires if he wants to make those a viable strategy to go into this race with. And just like that, qualifying, there's only 2 minutes left. Where'd all the
I
time
gotta,
go, Seb?
I gotta. Well, it's time always flies when I'm with my best bud.
Oh, I'm your best bud, Seb. That's so nice. I
Well,
enjoy. I love doing comms with you, Seb. It's always a blast. As
oh,
Alex
easily.
Alex comes across the line and does a 125.1. As much as we love complimenting each other, we do have to talk about what's going on track here. We do have Hondas on an outlap. We have a bunch of the top 5 guys in the pits, top 6 guys, 4 of the top 6 in the pits, the other one on an outlap.
Oh, that's a bend Mercedes in the wall.
Uh-oh.
Hightower
Oh,
completely missing a front wing.
Peter Hayward. Uh-oh. As the Iceman retires from the session. Did he do that in the pits? He must have, yeah.
I believe so, because
As
Bucks also retires.
Yeah, Cameron did. Bucks, really? Interesting that these guys did that. They just missed their window to get out there for a hot lap, I guess. Speaking of being on a hot lap, though, Michael Garone Jr. currently sitting P5. He's going to try and improve on that. Zach Hockmeyer also out on an outlap right now. He should be able to rip around and get a good lap in here. But Mr. Michael Garone Jr. just making his way through Sector 1 right now. Mike, it's been a little bit since we've seen Mike sitting up on the top step of that podium. What do you think the key is for Mr. Michael Garone Jr. to get to the top again tonight, Seb?
He's really got to lay down that lap. He's gotta push the limits of the track. He's got to make sure he stays within them. Really push that car and plant her on the ground to be able to get that time to get up there.
Yeah,
it's like almost 4 tenths that he's got to make up on this lap.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't been the best lap for Mike. He's right around where his previous personal best was. So unless if he gave a lot of time away here in Sector 3,
I believe he said a fastest Sector 2 just now, though.
Perhaps. So he locks it up a little bit here going through Club. He invalidates as well. So that's going to be it for Michael Garone Jr. We're going to jump on down to Zach Hockmeyer, see what he is able to do as qualifying is over. Zach is making his way currently through Sector 2. This is his one shot here. He is, of course, worked his way up into the championship points battle, which we have not gone over the standings for.
Oh, that had to have just invalidated.
He did not invalidate. He is still going. He's still on a good lap, so he is going to make his way through Sector 3. This is another spot where you can invalidate. He keeps it between the lines here. And where's this going to put him? He's going to come out of the final corner down the front stretch, and he goes provisional pole, a 124.5. You save the best for last there, and holy moly, that is a nice lap for Mr. Zach Hockmeyer.
Just snatches it away.
Only driver still on a lap right now is Christopher, who was his internet has settled down enough as he comes across the line. Who knows where he went, because he goes 17th fastest in the Ferrari. Mr. Michael Poland, I did not mean that. I of course still love you two very much, and but also just remember you insulted me earlier in the chat, so karma's Karma's not nice. What can I say?
I don't think that's the word you were trying to use.
No, it wasn't, but I'm trying to keep it PG, Seb. Trying to keep it PG. Now, as we just browse through the starting lineup here, which that'll be fun to run through. Um, now, Seb, I don't know how much you've been actually in on the loop on this, but you will recall our recent little exhibition race that we had with the CRL guys. Now, don't you?
Nope,
Okay, thanks for that,
never
Seb.
got an invite.
You were in it, but okay. So the Translation Esports and the CRL guys, we're going to be doing another invitational race. It is going to take place on November 11th here in the Americas. Going to be another 8 p.m. Eastern start. So there's going to be
Oh,
10 Transnations fellas and 10 CRL guys that are going to be in it. Should be another
which
another fun race. Full qualifying, 50% race. Um, and yeah, if you're in the North American server for TNE, then keep your eyes peeled because the call for drivers will be going out shortly for that.
so so why is it the 11th, Stu?
Why is it the 11th? Well, we do find that Wednesday nights are a very good night for both of the leagues to run one of these sorts of events on, and it also corresponds with Veterans Day in the United States and Remembrance Day here in Canada. So that is both of those days. We all take aside to remember the sacrifice that our war veterans made for us, and should coincide very nicely, I think, with a nice exhibition race between our two leagues.
There is one issue with that.
And what is that?
How many people do you think are going to be standing in line that night due to what comes out on the 12th?
Is it voting night?
What?
Election? Is it election night?
No!
What comes out on the 12th?
I'm done. I'm turning my stuff off.
If anybody in the chat knows, what's going on the 12th, then feel free to let me know. Oh, is that when the PS5 is released?
I don't know, Stu. I just can't anymore.
Well, if it is, then y'all can suck it up, because I got to run through the DXD Esports starting lineup here. Starting on pole, we have Zach Hockmeyer in the Racing Point. Alongside him is Andrew Honda, one of the reserve drivers in the Williams. Joseph Buck starts P3. Daniel Hernandez, LD Joker, starts alongside him on row 2. Ethan Lossing starts P5 with Michael Garone Jr. starting P6. The Iceman, Michael Schoonert, starts P7. Alongside him is Alex Gutierrez, Bean Sandwich. Jonathan Dunk starts P9, and rounding out the top 10 is the Mercedes of Julian Monegro. Starting P11, another one of our reserves, Sean Yarborough in P11. Alongside him, Random Sirius, that's Rolly Shields. Bill Fossey starts P13. Alongside him is teammate David Aponte. Whizbang, that's Aaron Boland, starting P15. P16 is Peter, that's Bowtie or Die. Cameron starts P17, Wesley P18, Peter Hayward starts P19, and bringing up the rear P20 is Christopher, another one of our reserves. So yes, the PS5. Sorry, Seb, not all of us have the disposable income to go out and get a pre-order of the PS5, so...
I got you one, Stu.
Oh, thanks, Seb. I didn't know that.
Anything from my booth.
This is why I like you more than Mike. As we're
I
waiting
do that
for
while I'm taking a drink.
as we wait for the race to start here, lights have not even started to build yet.
Uh-oh.
Brett seems pretty set on getting Andrew and Piers involved in this. We're not going to be able to do that, Brett. That's not the way she goes. Lights are building. 5 lights. And we are not yet off and away. We're off and away here as we get going. Oh my goodness!
Oh!
What happened? Who did Honda catch with that? Oh no, he took Bucks with him. Oh, catastrophe at the start. What happened there? As Zach got
And
away
Bucks got the worst of it.
cleanly. it almost looked like Honda just lost traction when he went for the start there and just lost it
Oh, we got a
sideways.
bunch of cars in the back right now going sideways and all over.
Oh
There was a
man,
Renault going across the screen.
there's massive battles going on back here. Bucks has front wing damage, so that is not good. He is a championship contender, and that is not going to bode well here. That's at the start of this race. Interestingly enough, only 3 drivers starting on the medium compound tire here. That is Alex Gutierrez, Cameron took advantage of all the carnage, and he's jumped up to P11, and Bill Vosti at P12. We have a yellow flag.
Oh,
That
looks
is
like a Haas.
that is the other Williams. That's Cameron. The commentator's curse is real, folks. And
Oh,
also,
the Haas and the Williams color looks so identical on there.
yeah, you're right. The Haas is. There was also a Haas off.
And a Mercedes.
That is Peter Hayward. Peter, after scoring his second points finish of the season last week, has found himself in some trouble. Joseph is in the pits. What's he going to do? I imagine you could probably slap on the hards and try and go to the end from here. Maybe get lucky with a safety car at some point.
I mean, after the carnage from just lap 1, I'm sure we'll have the safety car once everybody's tires start dying. And we have a Renault off.
Yeah, that is David Aponte, I believe. As, oh my goodness, the standings are all over the place. Michael Garone Jr., just by virtue of keeping it clean the first couple laps, has picked up a couple of positions. Ethan Lossing also running P3 and a penalty, so the commentator's curse continues. And also the Iceman just got around him, so the commentator's curse really does continue. I'm going to shut my mouth now, Seb. Take it away.
Hi guys, my name is Seb. Got some great racing going on today. Another 3-second penalty for David. A lot of carnage going on today.
As it looks like we might have a battle for the lead here before too long between Daniel Hernandez and Zach Hochmeyer.
I mean, don't leave Ethan out of it also, though.
Yeah, Ethan is hanging on the back of Daniel quite well here, as of course these 3 drivers do race in nationals. So they
Honda
are
taking the fastest lap.
Quite familiar with each other. Yeah, Honda, of course, he was involved in that first lap incident. Actually, not even first lap. It was like the first 10 feet.
If that.
Yeah. Yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. That is the Williams that's across. Oh, he is wrecked out. That is a full-fledged safety car, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big break for Joseph Bucks. Bucks will catch a break here. He
Almost
dives
definitely
into the pits. Is he going to go on the mediums? If you're a leader here, what do you do? Oh, Peter Pan with a drive-through penalty. Speeding under safety car is the charge. Now, Seb, do you come in here and you pit for mediums?
I probably would have stayed on the hards. Because everybody's gonna make another pit stop.
Well, no. I mean these. If you're a leader right now, if you're Zach, do you come in and pit for the mediums? I think I would.
Yeah, if I was Zach, I would. And there he goes.
Is. And
all
here,
the front runners.
Yeah, I think this turns it into. The thing is,
oh,
I don't know.
Somebody got hit in the pits.
Ooh, that is true. The Iceman with a 5-second penalty for pegging the back of Ethan. I wonder if he has.
Michael stayed out.
Interesting. Yeah, that's because his teammate was right in front of him. So what Mike is going to try and do?
Oh, that's true.
Is he's going to try and rip around, but he knew that he couldn't lose the time from his teammate being in the pit there. Unfortunately, Mike's going to catch the safety car. This is going to hurt Mike. Man, Mike has had some bad luck so far this season.
Wow, definitely a game changer.
But if this is still, regardless, these medium runners cannot go to the end. Although you see Daniel Hernandez pit for the hards. That's interesting. So if you're one of these guys, if
I
you're
mean, there's a
Zach,
lot of runners on the hards.
yeah. If you're one of the medium runners that just fitted the mediums, you can't make it to the end. You're gonna have to make another, or yeah, if you just put the mediums on, you can't make it to the end. You're probably gonna have to pit for a set of softs. So lots of these drivers are still going to have to make another pit stop, so maybe that doesn't kill a guy like Michael Garone Jr. or Julian Monegro or Rolly Shields. But they really do have to take advantage of these softs while they have them. And they're going to be on the faster tires versus these hard guys for the rest of this race. So this could be interesting.
I mean, Mike definitely could put some time between him and everybody behind him because, I mean, who's gonna? Let's see here. I think maybe on the mediums, Alex might be able to push a charge up there, you know, but he's gonna be able to put some serious time now.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. As Julian takes that Mercedes off-roading, he got some information from Bottas that it's a good lawnmower, and he's just exercising that. But yeah, you're right. It's Mike can maybe take advantage of some of the drivers that he has between him and the previous leaders. You look at Zach, you look at Daniel. They're stuck down in 7 and 8. They're going to have to deal with traffic, and if Mike can put some time on him, then he might be able to make a strategy like this work.
25 seconds.
25
He's got to try and pull.
seconds.
I believe that's how long the pit lane is, right?
Yeah, but you do also gain a little bit of time because you cut the last corner. You cut 17 and 18. And 16 for that matter as well. So you save a little bit of time there. I don't know what the pit road delta is here, Brett, where this is where we cue your knowledge.
I'm not talking to Brett.
Okay.
I think he called me Sam.
Oh.
I'm not talking to him.
I like Brett.
I don't.
But you know, he could make this work. It's really all going to depend on what kind of a gap he can get on those guys here at the start. He's going to be able to stretch those softs a little bit longer, and he's going to have fresher mediums for the end of this race. So, well, we'll see. 28 seconds apparently is the delta. If that's if that's accurate, that's insane. That would really doesn't bode well then. But
Dude, that's a long pit lane.
Yeah, so woof. We'll see how this works out. And you know what? This is Great Britain. There's lots of spots where drivers can lose it, and lots of difficult, tricky corners here. Wouldn't be surprised if this isn't our last safety car. So all it takes is really a virtual all of a sudden for Mike, and he's in good position here. As the safety car is going to come in this lap.
I mean, I really think he could do it. I mean, I'm not trying to put anybody down or anything, but I mean, the next runner that is going to contend for that pole position is going to be Zach, and he's all the way down in 7th, and he's got to fight through 5 places, and then Daniel, Ethan, Iceman, like, they all have to fight through the same people, plus fighting everybody in front of them that they're contending with. So I really think Michael can do the 28 seconds.
Well, plus, you look at Zach. Zach still has to make another pit stop. I believe 21 laps, I don't know, 22 laps, that might be doable on the mediums, but those tires sure aren't going to be pretty by the end. You'd really have to like Mike's chances as Mike gets off and brings us back to green. Julian Monegro actually did a really good restart to get... Oh, and no! My mouth is a dirty one tonight, I guess, as everything I seem to touch just turns to shit. As Michael
and he got
Jr.
a 10-second penalty on top of that.
Yeah, that is not a good one. Might be
tires.
I don't know if that's even appealable, because he'll have to serve it under his pit stop, I think.
I mean, that's just cold tires.
What?
Oh, and a Haas flips right in front of him.
That is Peter Pan. So Peter's around. He looks to have it kind of back going. Do have some battling going on here, though, as the front runners try and make their way back towards the front. Zach Hockmeyer up to 5th. Ethan Lossing right behind him in 6th. Daniel Hernandez, those hards have not been hooking up for him, as he currently finds himself in P9, about to go into P8. We're going to have a wicked race here between him, Honda. They're going to go 3 wide down. What straightaway is this? The Hanger Straight. Don't want to be going side by side into here. Safety car again.
Safety car. I think that's David Aponte.
Another one. There's a Haas that's around. David Aponte's around. David Aponte is missing a front wing, so that's got to be it.
That's why.
Well, hello, Michael Garone Jr. You just caught a break, sir. I understand it's not really the circumstances that you wanted to catch the break, but you know what? And from here, I definitely think that you can make the mediums last.
Oh, of course. So that means he's gonna be pushing a lot on those tires, though.
Yeah, he will. His teammate also came in and pitted for the mediums, Daniel Hernandez. So clearly those hards are really not working. And this should be quite interesting here, as the safety car has picked them up already. So this is going to put, actually, you know what? Just like that, you look at Daniel Hernandez, you look at Bucks, who had an earlier incident, you look at Mike, and all of a sudden they might be in the driver's seat here, because all of the drivers in front of them, except for these hard runners, are maybe going to have to make another pit stop. Actually, I don't know about those 2-lap old mediums, probably won't have to. But...
Don't ever make that sound again.
You didn't like that, Seb?
No.
Or Sam, I should say.
Yeah, right. See now, so what does Michael do when coming up behind Daniel?
I mean, there's a driver in between. Oh yeah, because Joseph is in between them. Regardless, though, a second safety car here, and yeah, as Brett has pointed out in the chats, he did not serve that 10-second penalty in the pits, so that is a post-race penalty to be applied. I'm sure Mike, if he needs to do it, will submit that footage to his race footage if he can potentially get that penalty overturned. Should be interesting to see if the Stewarts will go for that. I know he did where he came out on the racetrack. He came out at the end of the line, so maybe he won't. Maybe he'll be able to get that appealed, but we'll see. Regardless, Julian Monegro leading this race, currently on those softs, having yet to pit, along with Rolly Shield, Random Serious. So, as what happened to the Iceman? Why is he getting passed? Don't know.
Maybe, I doubt he's lapped.
That could be trouble, you know. You're not supposed to be overtaking under safety car, so those drivers that overtook him... Peter Pan also having... What the heck is going on here? Peter Pan went off. Peter Pan did the Grosjean in that Haas, and he did lose it under safety car conditions.
Oh, he sure did.
A little bit embarrassing. Channeling his inner Grosjean. I wonder what... we can't really tell what car he's in either. Some of the cars you can tell which, if they have the primary. I don't remember if Grosjean has the yellow indicator on his tow hook at the top.
I am not sure.
And it's not really important either, as we find ourselves under safety car conditions here, Seb.
I'm surprised it hasn't come back in yet.
Oh,
there we go.
Speak of the devil, look at you. You knew that was coming. Don't even lie.
Oh, I did. I did.
You're like, oh, I'm surprised the safety car hasn't come in. Oh, boom. And then you look like an absolute genius. Looks like you're the race director.
Oh, what can I say?
Simmer down there, Michael Massey.
I try.
So Julian Monegro did an amazing start last time to keep up with Michael Garone Jr. on the start. What will he be able to pull off here as he leads us back to green? He accelerates out of the final corner. He has a nice little start there, and Rolly Shields did a pretty good job this time to keep up with him. Of course, the chilly tires going through the first couple of corners there cut out Michael Garone Jr., but has not cut out the top three yet, as we have a battle between Bill Vossi and Zach Hochmeyer. Zach also feeling the pressure from Ethan right behind him. Ethan, of course, also on those mediums. So here goes Zach. Zach goes to the inside of Bill and is gonna make it stick. Ooh. They almost touched. Ethan Lossing looking to do the same, but he's falling under fire now from Honda. Ethan looking to get around Bill. Will he be able to do it? Bill on the...
As soon as he can.
Oh, he's not going to be able to get that move done yet. He's looking to the inside here as they go through Maggots and Beckett's. That's not where you want to go side by side. Ethan backs out of it wisely, but that's going to cost him some time here as they head down the hangar straight.
And Honda just right behind him.
Yep, as here goes Ethan. Ethan pulls out to the inside. He's going to get the move done into Stowe. Honda not able to get the move done. Honda goes into the pits.
He's still on the hards.
Interesting. Honda got wing damage, so that's why he's coming into the pits. Interesting.
I don't see the wing damage.
Followed a little bit too closely. It looked like he was missing an end plate here.
No, he's got both his end plates on.
Well, as we see him make his way...
Drive-through?
Drive-through penalty for Honda. That
That's
must have been
interesting.
He must have got a speeding under safety car penalty. So maybe he didn't have wing damage. Maybe I was just seeing things. I was just seeing things, folks. That is not surprising. I guess as Michael Garone Jr. and Bucks are going at it here, these are, of course, championship front runners duking it out here right now for P13. They're side by side. A couple of drivers in front of them go off. That's Whizbang, Aaron Boland. Is Mike going to be able to capitalize on this? And in front of them, Daniel Hernandez and Christopher are side by side. Oh my goodness, this is a traffic jam here as they're going to go. They're going to go into Maggots and Beckett's side by side. Michael Garone Jr. got into the side of... There was a retirement from the session here.
Oh, and
a safety car. Safety car number 3.
Rolly Shields into the wall barrier. Michael just passed him.
Yep, I'm riding along board right now with Peter Hayward, and there is Rolly Shields. Unfortunate for him. That's going to be the end of the race for the AlphaTauri driver. You know what? We've had all 3 safety cars have done an amazing favor for championship contenders here. First we saw it was with Bucks. Bucks was at the back of the field and he caught a big break as many drivers diving into the pits here, including Michael Garone Jr. We saw it with a second safety car, Michael Garone Jr. After having that spin, he was able to take advantage of that. And now a massive break here. Actually, Honda is not a contender for the championship, but definitely was a contender for the race win here today. Maybe not the win because he's a reserve driver, but you know what I'm saying. So safety cars having helped out some of these front-running drivers.
Definitely.
Bill Vossi fits the hard compound tire. I don't know if that's ideally what you want to be going on to, but
and Zach is back up front.
And just like that, Zach Hochmeyer finds his way back to the front. With
if I'm not mistaken, I think Iceman's also catching a break because I think he got the safety car and he disconnected.
Oh. Well, that certainly would be a big break then, wouldn't it? This is a good time for us to kick our feet back up. Our 3rd safety car in 11 laps, so we've actually only really had, what, 2 or 3 laps of actual racing here so far? Getting a little bit silly, but you know what? We're getting all these safety cars out of the way early here. Checking the YouTube comments here. Waiting for the commentator's curse to strike. Well, I think it's already struck a few times there, Brett. If you haven't been paying attention, I have caused a few drivers to spin.
This is definitely going to be a long race.
Yeah, I think it is, Seb. We might need to do an intermission for us to refill here halfway, but as Christopher's coming into the pits here, the reserve driver gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is not how he wanted to have it go. That's for sure. Also, Alex Gutierrez coming in. That's interesting.
And see, this brings us back to the whole strategy conversation we had earlier.
Yeah, I don't really entirely know what's going on here. Alex fits the mediums. Peter Hayward finds himself at P7. Atta B, Pete. He has recovered from a spin earlier this race. Currently to find himself in P7. His teammate Julian Monegro right behind him. Now, this is gonna be something to watch here. So you have guys like Michael Garone Jr. and Honda back here, P14 and 15. They are of course, the fresh mediums on that can without a doubt go to the end of this race. You have the top 4 drivers though that are on much older 7-lap old mediums. They should be able to go to the end of this race with the safety cars that we've had, but how the question mark that lies above them is what are their tires going to be like at the end of this race? They're probably not going to be in that good a shape.
Oh, I would definitely not doubt it. And we have a really big break in between the safety car lines.
Oh no. What happened?
I don't know, but everybody's switching
places
or...
What happened is... Was that Christopher? What happened there? That's interesting because Michael Garone Jr. now finds himself in P12. I wonder if David Aponte might have... David Aponte picks up a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags, which usually happens when you pass... Is that when you pass somebody maybe? And
I think it might be.
So that's good. That should be easily appealed, but there's definitely a bug that took place there on the Codemasters end, and hopefully there aren't penalties that were applied that's going to affect anybody's positioning at the end of this race. As we're waiting for Zach now to bring us back to green, he's going to take us back to green flag racing here. As there's a yellow flag again in Sector 3, there was definitely an incident back there. I don't know what's going on. That's David Aponte. It looks like... For some reason, he got caught up in something.
Wow, he really split that field, but that's good news for Michael.
It looks like David is really lagging badly here. Honda struggling to get around him. Alex Gutierrez also behind him as well. As he's going side by side right now with Honda. Up towards the front, Julian Monegro and Iceman battling it out right now for P6. And in front of them, Bucks and Daniel Hernandez are nose to tail. Michael Garone Jr. already up to P10, so he's making moves.
Michael does have to remember he does have that 10-second penalty.
He does, so how that's going to affect him at the end of this race, we will wait and see. Sean Yarborough gets around the Iceman to go into P7. Of course, one of the reserve drivers here tonight, Michael Garone Jr. around Peter Hayward. And looking to make a move around the Iceman! Oh no! Is that wing damage for Mike?
It is.
Oh, Michael Garone Jr. He had such a run on Michael Schoonert, and man, a frustrating race goes from bad to worse for Mike. Yellow flag in Sector 1.
I mean, he's got
Daniel
Daniel
Hernandez
was
is
in
in
the
the
pits.
pits. What's happening here? Was that a drive-through penalty? It is. So the game is giving out drive-through penalties like it's
Like
candy on
candy.
Halloween. Oh, Iceman, he went off. I think. No, I don't
No, it
know.
was Hightower.
It was showing Hightower in front of them though. I don't know what's going
I
on anymore.
I really think I don't think Iceman came back. I want to say he's still AI controlled unless I missed it.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look on board here, see what this looks like. It is very AI looking. Yeah, this is very AI looking. Michael is not this slow.
Yeah, no, it's definitely got to be AI, and that really played a big deal into Michael getting that wing damage, which he is
Yes, that
in the
would.
pits for.
That is very true. Very unfortunate there, actually. You're right for another Michael Garone Jr., as that definitely is what caused that. The AI controlled car wreaking some havoc here as it falls down the
Bailey's
field.
fighting it out with Alex right now for P10 or for P8, sorry.
Yeah, they are. That's Bill Vosti and Alex Gutierrez. Bill on the hards, Alex on the mediums. Alex making a move up the inside, and he's going to get that done easily.
Good traction.
Yep. So.
Bucks with the 3-second.
Yeah, something that we haven't really talked about is the potential for penalties around here. So it's not quite the same as what we saw in Austria last week, but this is another high penalty track. Definitely a couple of opportunities on this track for to rack up the penalties. So those who are most disciplined will be rewarded for it, as there's a Red Bull that's off. That is the Iceman off in Maggots and Beckett's. So, and you know who's coming up behind him in not too long is going to be the two McLaren boys of Daniel Hernandez and Michael Garone Jr. What? This has been this race hasn't lacked any any excitement, that's for sure. We've seen it all. We've seen safety cars. We've seen slow AI cars that have caused races to be ruined. We've seen it all, and now what we're seeing is the Haas boys battling it out. These guys are like magnets, and
Always fighting.
yeah, Gunter's sitting up on the pit wall right now. He's just having kittens, just losing his mind as he's about to watch his two Haas drivers go at it yet again here for in the British Grand Prix. Where do we got a good battle going on here? Not Apollo. Sean Yarborough is hunting down Julian Monegro for P5 right now. Of course, Sean is not one of the regular drivers here on Monday night. He is a Sunday night regular, but doing reserve duty here tonight. Doing a heck of a good job
Zach
of
just
it,
picked
too.
up his first penalty.
Oh, have you seen that? Have you seen Ethan get a penalty yet?
Not that I know of, but I can take a check.
Ethan being with Ethan being a reserve, I don't know if it's worth checking because he'll retire anyways. But
that is true.
Would be interesting to know that might be something for Bucks that could come into play at the end of this race.
This is a long race. I'll be back.
As also interesting to note, when Michael Garone Jr. came into the pits, he did fit the soft tires. Didn't have another fresh set of mediums to go on, but kind of surprised that he maybe didn't fit that old used pair of mediums, but.
So Bucks has a 3-second time penalty.
Okay, so that means first and third are currently even. Jonathan Dunk sitting in P4 right now, 1.8 seconds behind.
I don't think, so far I haven't seen anything for Dunk.
All right. So that could be big for Dunk here if he's able to keep up with the drivers in front of him. He is, of course, he is one of the drivers on considerably older mediums. 7 lap older mediums than Julian, who is directly behind him. So we'll see if that
6 seconds.
We'll see if that comes, into place. Bucks has 6 seconds, eh? Yikes.
Yeah, Bucks has 6 seconds. Zach has 1 warning. Charges, it doesn't really matter, but he does have a 5-second.
Okay.
Tauga's hitting the fastest lap.
Yeah, he has done that, and he's right on the back of Daniel right now is what he is.
He's on the back of Iceman.
Oh, yes, Iceman, my bad. Oh, so he's on the back of Iceman. The AI-controlled car that got in his way as Mike comes into the pits now with wing damage. Oh, no.
What?
Yeah, and he's retired from the session, so that will be it for Michael Garone Jr.
And Daniel's off right before the pits. In the grass.
Do you think that possibly there could have been some contact between the two? It's hard to say.
And Zach is off.
Oh, and Daniel Hernandez is disqualified for going the wrong way. Zach, you're right. Zach is
the
off.
lead.
Zach is down to P6. So Daniel Hernandez is out as well. He's another championship contender.
Michael, welcome to the combat.
Looks like I picked a good time to join. I decided to end my race a little early because there was absolutely nothing I could do.
Yeah, that was...
Just about everything went wrong.
No kidding. We kind of missed what happened on the last incident there. Was it another run-in with
AI car?
Yeah,
AI car. Just too slow. Super dangerous.
That's really unfortunate. I do think that Mr. Michael Schoonert, it seemed like he lost internet connection earlier on, and unfortunately the AI car is a bit of an asshole to maneuver around.
So correct me if I'm wrong, if Dunk is able to stay with Bucks, Dunk is on a potential win today.
Yeah, you're right, 7 laps here from the end, and Dunk could be on for a race victory here, but I would not rule out one of these guys like a Julian Monegro here. I don't know what Julian's penalty situation is looking like, but he's done a good job to stick with Bucks and not Bucks, J-Dunk, and he has, of course, 7 lap fresher mediums on that car.
And a 3-second time penalty.
Yep. So Commentator's Curse is alive and well again tonight. No, holy moly.
So Michael, you want to walk us through the safety car restart?
The first one.
Yes, the one that you were leading.
I don't know. The car just went away.
That
second safety car. Yeah, that second safety car kind of saved me. I mean, I would have had to pit from the lead if I had not spun anyway. Yeah, and then I did what we kind of talked about, joining safely at that area, and I did what I said that I would probably do in that situation, and the game didn't like it too much, so
no.
I don't know what the game wants from us, but I literally let everybody through and rejoined at a safe place, and they deemed that a 10-second penalty. But
yeah, we were talking about that actually earlier in the session, is that I did notice that you rejoined at the end of the line as well, so we were talking that probably would have been a very easily appealable penalty, but
yeah, it doesn't matter now.
No,
it
doesn't. It's the way she goes. Is as we're looking. Whoa, Zach almost lost it again. You know what? Zach is kind of back to that. He always runs a car that's a little bit unstable, and it's already bit him once tonight, and it looks.
Oh, Bill might be going side by side in the Megan to Biggets with Christopher.
Bill thought better of that. Backed off.
Oh, little contact.
Oh,
between
Julian's
Zach and
around.
Julian.
Oh, that might be interesting. Julian Monegro on the bad end of that as he goes around and it drops him to P8. He was on for a great finish.
Yeah, it looked like just a case of Zach driving a little angry. I mean, a lot of us will. A lot of incidents for everybody. The lap 1 incident, I don't even know what happened there.
Oh, Zach almost lost. Zach's off. Zach is off again. And he...
no.
It's an interest... It was almost an interesting rejoin as Mr. Apollo
he's got
was
no
coming
control over those rear tires.
Yeah, those tires are lit
Those are
up right now.
hot.
16 lap old mediums, and he's had 2 big offs with them, so that's going to be a task to keep that car under
And
control.
Whizbangs
until
is
the end.
off.
Holy moly! Everybody thinks they're a frickin' lawnmower tonight. As we see a battle here for P14, this is between David Aponte and the Iceman.
Oh my
Of course, the AI car.
How about a guy like Alex Gutierrez? He looks like, what is he, the 5th runner out of the full-time drivers. He's on the freshest tires out of all the full-timers.
That is a good point as he's coming up on the back of his teammate.
I mean, technically, that's a potential P3.
Yellow,
Honda and Sean.
yellow flag, that is for Aaron Bolin, who is still mowing the grass. He's going to try and do the fastest lap in the grass here. That's good for an extra point.
About Bill. Bill's looking good. Billy's going to get some points today.
Yeah, Bill on a good run here. Currently one of the only drivers out there on the hards. Ooh, Aaron Bolin with a 10-second time penalty. That's what happens when you mow the grass for too long there, Aaron.
And Alex is around Sean, so he's now going to chase down his teammate.
Yeah, he is. Sean just moving out of the way of these drivers as Aaron Bolin retires from the session in the pits. So he's had enough. You know what? I think we could be on for another
This looks like Sunday.
Peter Hayward go of it here. Peter Hayward might pick up points again.
Uh-oh.
What's going on
Can't
there?
forget about his podium last week.
That's true. He is moving up in the world very fast. You're right. Peter will not let us hear the end of that. There's a Mercedes off the Julian Negros. He's out.
Oh no!
He lost it.
Where's that at? Oh, cops.
Safety car. Safety car.
Oh, this is going to play, like I said, this is going to play right into Alex's hands.
So Alex Gutierrez, but Alex is going to
And
almost be
Zach.
forced to make a pit stop here, no? Alex is staying out. There's going to be like...
Honda's retired.
Yeah, looks like
Is there gonna
Honda's
be-
retired.
Are we going to have any more green flag racing?
I
Maybe
think
a
you're going to
lap?
have one lap.
Really
So-
think it's gonna be one lap. Sean does the retirement.
Ethan stays out. He's going to retire this lap, I imagine. So that's going to give Joseph Bucks the lead of this race, who has 6 seconds in time penalties. Jonathan Dunk is P2. He has, last time we checked, 3 seconds. Alex
Dunk has none.
Dunk has none. Okay. What about Alex Gutierrez?
Let me check. That's a long list. You should have asked for that earlier.
Well, sorry, Seb, that I'm asking something of you.
Is this how you guys are?
Oh yeah, it's like
Alex-
this.
All the time.
Alex has 0. He's got
Gee.
2 warnings.
Everybody's retiring. All the reserves have retired. Of course, there were 4 of them in this race. So Peter Hayward is probably going to be on for points here. Good for Pete.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of kicking myself that I retired in the pits because I would have.
He could have picked up points.
I could have.
Oh well, it's the way.
But I am excited for these final few laps, however many it's gonna be. Zach might come back into play on some fresh softs. How about Billy on some fresh softs?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's,
I'm
See what
sure
they could
Ethan
do.
will retire also.
oh, could you imagine if
I'm
Bill
sure
got a
Ethan
podium?
will retire. Oh, I could go for a Billy podium. I mean, we saw
He'll never let me
saw
live it
Rob
down.
Hadley snipe one last night, so
Yeah,
I
true.
wouldn't rule it out.
I would imagine we're riding along right now with our race leader Ethan Lossing. I think he's going to dive into the pits here. He's usually very good about retiring.
Yep,
Yeah,
there
here
he
he comes.
goes.
Wanted to make sure, of course, his teammate wasn't going to come into the
Peter
pits
Pan's
as
in 5th.
Peter Pan.
Oh Lord,
Gunter's gonna be.
he's in fourth now.
Yeah,
He's in
Gunter's
fourth. Before
Oh.
I retired, he got spun out under safety car, and he's sitting up in P4.
pulling the true Roman Grosjean. Now showing the other side of that, showing some pace.
So everybody here is going to score points.
Yep. That
Man,
is...
why did I retire?
Get back in there, Mike. You can come back. The big question is, when are we going to go back to green flag racing? This field is more spread out than, like, we're not going back green flag racing this lap, I don't think. I think we are going to have one flag, or one lap of racing.
I don't even know about that.
No, they must be. I don't think this game has the mechanics to finish under safety car. So.
Well, you see, I thought when I didn't think the safety car would come out this late. I thought it would have been coded in. That,
I think I'm pretty sure 5 laps to go. It turns the safety car trigger off.
Yeah, but
Completely.
apparently not.
I think you could get VSCs within the last 5 laps. Not full course safeties. I've never seen a safety car this late myself, but
yeah.
I'd assume even if these guys don't get caught up, it will.
It's a lot
It
of
will come in this lap.
versus people with 16, 19, 11, and 15 on lap tires.
Gonna just checking out the YouTube comments here. They weren't refreshing for me, so my apologies to our #1 fan, Brett. Brett wants to join us in the Combox on November 3rd. I'm sure we
That's
could.
a Tuesday.
Well, that's November 3rd for him. Yeah, so for us it'll be the 2nd.
See.
Safety car in this lap. All right,
There we go.
Let's take picks on who wins it. I'm going Alex.
I got dunked.
I'm gonna go.
Oh no, I'm gonna go Bill.
I'm gonna go wild here. I'm gonna go Peter Pan.
Oh
Bill.
boy.
I'm putting my money on Bill.
I might have the biggest return on investment for my bet if we're doing Vegas money lines here, being on the hards and in fourth. But you know what? I'll bet my
I
life
think
savings.
Bill's got it. Bill's definitely got it.
All right, Bill, Zach, Peter, Alex, Jonathan, Joseph. Could it be somebody else? We're gonna find out here as we're back to green flag racing here. 2 laps to go.
Oh,
Zach.
Zach's wasting no time.
Yeah, Zach wastes absolutely no time on those fresh softs. As he is just charging his way to the front. As Jonathan Dunk staying on the back of Joseph right now. There's going to be an interesting battle between the Racing Point teammates here. As they are duking it out for what is the final podium position. But as we... Oh, there goes Alex right into the wall.
Oh, no.
Oh, man, the commentator's curse was really alive and well here tonight.
I don't think it'll safety car it though.
No, it won't. We still have a lap and a half to go around here, although that would be the end of the race in real life. But it is not here. Zach Hochmeyer does get 3rd position out of that, but Zach does
he's
have
got 6 seconds of penalties.
and Jonathan has none.
Yeah.
Dunk's in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, I wonder if Dunk knows that though. As
And
Zach picks up
another
another
set.
one.
Another one.
Wait,
Oh,
hold on. Let's look at Peter Pan's penalties.
Peter
Pan has no penalties.
Peter Pan, if he sticks with it, this is going to be a brilliant performance for Pete. And Bill Vossi right behind him. This is going to be a battle. There is a wicked battle going on right here for what's going to be likely the final
Bill have
podium
penalties?
spot.
No,
Bill doesn't
has
have penalties.
Oh,
Come on,
baby. Let's go, boys.
Oh, Zach goes off.
Zach off again, just pushing so hard. Man, even on those
Zach
softs.
has to, but
What is going on with this race? This is incredible. Can we
yeah,
race
I
it?
really want Bill. I really want Bill at the podium.
You know what? Bucks has 6 seconds in penalties.
He just gets his first penalty.
No.
No, Bill. But Peter hasn't got any penalties yet. Peter's still looking great to move up into onto this podium here. Holy moly. He could finish second because Bucks has 6 seconds, right?
Yeah, Bucks, I believe, has 2 time penalties.
This is incredible. What are we going to see here? We're on the final lap here at Silverstone. Bill Vossi about to go side by side
he goes.
with Peter Pan here. Keep it easy, gentlemen.
Is he gonna make it stick?
Bill gets it there, and he's going to make it stick. Is Peter going to fight back? He's not.
I mean, that's not enough, though.
Joseph is going to cross the line first, but Jonathan leapfrogs him. Zach P3. Bill jumps up to P3. Peter Pan to P2.
Peter Pan second.
Peter Pan jumps up to P2. Jonathan Dunk wins the British Grand Prix. Bill Vossi finishes 4th. Zach Hochmeyer 5th. Wesley with a nice run in 6th. Hightower Peter Hayward 7th. I believe David Aponte got 8th. And the final finishing driver was the Iceman. Of course, he will not be classified, I believe.
Driver of the day for Peter.
What a race.
Well-deserved driver.
Bill's gotta be, Bill has got to be kicking himself right now.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow for Bill. A tough one to swallow indeed, but man, what a great...
And there he goes in the Discord.
What a great end of the race here.
Wow.
Jonathan Dunk picks up the victory. Wow.
He is going to be alive right now.
So, Bill, that did cost him the podium. That cost him P2. Oof.
Yeah, that costed him the podium.
That hurts.
Wow.
But regardless here, let's get Jonathan. Let's get Peter. And let's get Joseph into the party here. Do you guys have these guys to add them? Or do you want me to?
I believe I do. Give me 1 second.
I feel like there's something weird that we have to do with this new silly PSN update, but
you have to add them to the group, and then they just have to. That gives them an invite to join. So
Bucks, Bowtie, and Dunk.
Yes.
But wow, an incredible end to the British Grand Prix. You know what?
A CRL podium.
Based off of the based off of the well, they can get their podium now. They won't get it in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
But based off of, I mean, the race that we had last night and the race that we have tonight, we should race here all the freaking time. It's it was pretty incredible. As we're waiting for some of these guys to join into the party, I know that we have Bucks on the line here. I make that sound like a radio station call in here. But Joseph, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
A big congratulations on your podium. It was, I mean, of course, you crossed the line P1. Penalties wound up dropping you to P8 there, which is a little bit unfortunate for you. But I mean, hey, you survived the British Grand Prix. It was a bit of a wild one out there. You got, of course, involved in that really early incident. I mean, walk us through this wild British Grand Prix for you.
Yeah, no, it was definitely wild is the perfect word I would use. We had a good qualifying session, got a P3. I figured I was in a good spot starting on the outside. Race start, I don't know what happened to Honda, but he went dead left right into me. So that sent me back quite a bit. I was in dead last at that point, so I think it was a pretty good moral victory when I just put my head down and just tried to pick off as many cars as I could, and the chaos really helped that too. But definitely a moral victory to come across the line P1, but I'll definitely take the points for officially P3.
Yeah, I mean, really, what was going through your mind there on that late safety car? What was kind of your thought process there as you saw that safety car come out?
Pain. Because I had a 6-second gap on Dunk at that point in time, so I was really just hoping that we could just finish out the race. because then I wouldn't have to, lose any of the spots. But obviously, just something you can't avoid, and you just kind of got to shrug your shoulders and just go with it, roll with the punches.
Yeah, that's really all that you can do in that situation. A little bit surprising that the safety car came out that late, but regardless, you rebounded, and like I said, you survived an absolutely wild, crazy race here to bring it home P3. So a massive congratulations to you on that.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Moving on now to P2. Maybe not somebody that maybe you would have expected at the beginning of this race. To find you here, Peter, but you drove an absolutely brilliant final stint there. You stayed out of trouble. You didn't collect any penalties. You really did everything kind of right there at the end of this race, and you get an incredible reward for it. P2 here at the end. A great race for you. It was a wild one though, as it seemed everybody had a wild race. I mean, honestly, a massive congratulations first right off the get-go, but then take us through your wild British Grand Prix.
Many of the guys that are sitting in this lobby with us right now heard me talking about how I was about ready just to be done. I ended up picking up a BS drive-through penalty, and I got really frustrated. And I was like, and I just got into the pits so I could pit, so I'm not going to get it. It's safety car, I'm screwed. And I don't know, man. I just stuck it out. I was like, well, this is turned out to be a wild race. Might as well grab the bull by the horns and take it for the full ride.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. We also noticed earlier in the race. I don't know if you're in Grosjean's car or Magnussen's car, but you did pull a bit of a Grosjean.
Yeah, that was I can't exactly explain it. It was kind of like Sunday night. I was going through Maggots and Beckett's in the wet, and I had that lock. I've got that on lock. I don't know what it is. And I spun out, and I was like, "What? How did that happen?" Same thing. I was just trying to warm up my tires, and it just said, "Nope, you're not doing this," and spun me. Like, oh, this is disappointing. And that's when I was like, oh crap, I'm screwed. Then the safety car came out. I was 40 seconds behind, I think. I was like, I'm gonna hammer down and see what I can do.
And I mean, hammer down you did. You ended up bringing it home with a brilliant point finish for Haas. This is actually going to do a lot for you guys in the Constructors' Championship as well as you in the Drivers' Championship. So an incredible run from you, Peter. I'm not sure if Michael or Seb, you have anything that you wanna pipe in here for Peter.
Actually, I got something for Seb.
Oh.
No, kick him out of the party. Kick him out of the party.
Hey, thanks for the setup, bro.
Wow. Kick him out of the party.
No, that was your setup.
Well, I got something to say too. Hey, Michael, thanks for the setup, buddy.
It all comes full circle.
There you go.
Yeah, well, we saw where that setup ended me tonight, so
This is a learning experience, kids. This is how an STI gets transferred around. So first Seb kissed Michael, and then Peter kissed Seb, and now everybody has it. So moral of the story here is don't drink from somebody else's water bottle here. And but before this gets too out of hand, Peter, massive congratulations on your P2, very well deserved. And I think it's time for you to go celebrate.
Absolutely, fixing to. Thanks, guys.
And now going on to our race winner, who I think is going to be doing some celebrating of his own. That is Mr. Jonathan. I mean, wow. I mean, you, just like Peter, you did a great job of not getting any penalties, and it really, really paid off for you at the end there. An absolutely wild race, but you know, you kept it between the lines. You did a good job. You had good pace. And ultimately, you were rewarded tonight with a great victory here. Walk us through your race and what was a wild British Grand Prix.
This is the third time I've raced here this week, so I'm definitely ready to be finished. But yeah, I kind of learned some lessons over the last couple of days. Sunday night had a late safety car and ended up going into pit and lost like 6 positions and never able to get it back. And so me and Bucks just stayed out and hoping we could hold those guys off at the end. And yeah, just not having any penalties just worked out in my favor tonight. Definitely just I would say just pretty much pure luck. so many guys were having issues and wrecking out. So yeah, just got lucky and took advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, you're mentioning getting lucky, but I mean, you also were one of I think two drivers that didn't manage to accumulate a track extending penalty. So I mean, there was definitely it's not just all luck. I mean, that's what ultimately what made the difference here at the end of it was the penalties. But you mentioned the late safety car there and how you experienced it last night on Sunday night. So I mean, you mentioned that you learned obviously not coming into the pits, but what was going through your mind when that came out? I know I asked Bucks this, but what was going through your mind when that safety car came out and you knew that the field was going to be all bunched up again?
I was terrified. I knew I had guys like Dilligath and Bean. There was a few more that were behind me that were on fresher tires, and I mean they're faster than me already. So I knew being on the soft tire they were going to be super fast. But yeah, they all just kind of had issues, and I think a few of them might have had penalties. So yeah, like I said, just ran a clean race and just ended up working out in the end.
Yeah, well, I mean, Seb, Mike, do you have anything that you want to add in here for Jonathan?
Oh, I'm glad you got that dub here because it don't happen anywhere else. Well, congrats, bro. Really happy for you, bro. Really happy.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, all he had to do was join our Warzone group. So now he's the latest winner in our Warzone group.
I mean, why do you think I want to join in? That's
Oh yeah.
I need
Get
anything
some
I
of
can
the,
get. No, but Jonathan, I think well-deserved victory for you, and I don't know if you have a bottle of champagne there, but I think it's time to go pop a bottle for you.
Yeah, I don't, but I might have to go find something. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's got to be a late-night liquor store open, so. All right, congratulations, man, and who knows? Hopefully, we'll be talking to you again next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
Well, gentlemen, Seb, Mike, it's been a wild British Grand Prix. I mean, I don't know if I've ever. That's a lot of safety cars to have in one race, and just everything in between was absolutely wild and crazy. I don't know how we're gonna top that going next week into Hungary, but I mean, I guess we can give it a shot.
That was definitely a gnarly race. I'm a little disappointed in Michael. That's why you always finish the race, but he would have never known that was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean that's one of my number one rules. Trust me, it's in the back of my mind, and I'm kind of kicking myself. But despite that, I am kind of glad there's a silver lining in the fact that I got to join you guys and watch those last few laps, which were amazing to watch, and we saw some really good results from some people that we might not have expected from. Obviously, we're super happy for Peter, super happy for Bill, even though he just missed that podium. And then, yeah, J-Dunk pulling off the win. It's got to be great. I lose the championship lead. That's not great, but yeah, we got a long season ahead of us to try to fix that.
Yeah, there's still we're only halfway. Was this the halfway point? It might have been. This might have been passing the halfway point in the season. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this track marks like the semi-halfway point, or maybe right on the halfway point. So
yeah,
still a long way to go.
Yeah, still lots of time left in this season. I'm sure that we're gonna see. Hopefully, I mean, we saw some great battles out here today as well. This Monday night group just continues to impress, and hopefully we're gonna have some more great racing as we head to Hungary next week for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Should be a fun one, referred to as sort of Monaco-esque. Just
Monaco without the barriers.
Yeah, exactly. So should be interesting to see how that works out. We'll see if there's not going to be as many passing opportunities as there was this week, but we'll see see how that race goes. If it's anything like this week, we're going to be in for a treat. So, on behalf of Seb, myself, and Mike, who joined us halfway through the broadcast, thank you for tuning in to the Transnation Esports Monday Night US Regional, and we will talk to you next week.